All right, so we're in here. This is I'm the Shaka Chain. This is Trump and G, of course, and this is Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, rival Bird versus Magic. The game of the year is here. Last year, LSU dominated Iowa in the national championship game. They couldn't. I mean, LSU could not beat South Carolina last year, but Iowa did. Iowa knocked off South Carolina, which was heavily favored to win the national championship, and Caitlin Clark was like a machine. She couldn't be stopped. And throughout the whole tournament, she was just telling everybody, I can't feel my face. And she probably couldn't feel her face. They were talking smack to everybody. She and her teammates, and they were dominating. They couldn't stop this girl. She looked like Larry Bird or Pistol Pete Maravich out there, pulling up from all spots on the floor, from deep, mid-range, dropping dimes. She was like a one-man wrecking crew. LSU dominated. They beat Iowa. They stymied Caitlin Clark. They bothered her. Angel Reese and her teammates, Flo Jo Johnson, they came to play, and they basically I wouldn't say they manhandled LSU, Iowa, but they dispatched them handily. It wasn't as close as the score looked. And the question now would be, it's going to be a ratings bonanza tonight. The question now would be, will it rival Bird versus Magic? The 1979 championship game changed the college landscape, changed basketball in a lot of ways because Larry Bird and Magic Johnson changed the game. Two big guys who played like guards. It was the most talked about NCAA tournament in history. I remember it vividly. I was in sixth grade, and my physical ed teacher had us actually map the games and map media coverage, and we tracked the media coverage of both teams and the games and how the media treated Magic and Bird differently. It was definitely black versus white. All of white America was cheering for Bird, and all of black America was cheering for Magic Johnson. And nobody wants to admit it, but we're still racially divided in a lot of ways. And these games were black versus white versus football, basketball, or boxing, different races compete against each other. It does amplify fan interest. And there's a lot of ways, there's a lot of similarities tonight, where Angel Reese and LSU, predominantly black team, against Iowa and Caitlin Clark, who's a predominantly white team. Last year, the 1979 championship game between Magic and Bird had generated 24.1 TV rating, and about 40 million people watched it. It's still the most watched game in history. This is back in 1979. It's 40 years ago. Last year, the LSU Iowa game had 9.9 million combined viewers. It smashed. It's the most watched women's game in history. It smashed the previous record, which is like 8.1 million. It's probably gonna outdo that tonight. Will it rival Bird versus Magic? We'll see. But there are a lot of backstories to tonight's game. Last year ended a lot of controversy with Angel Reese sort of taunting Caitlin Clark in Iowa after the game, and it raised a lot of eyebrows. People were calling her classless, unsportsmanlike. People like Dave Portnoy from Boston Sports. People from throughout the media landscape were complaining about her being unsportsmanlike. And then Lil Boosie, the rapper out of Louisiana, and Shaquille O'Neal came to her defense. Said she's no more unsportsmanlike than Caitlin Clark was last year, who was doing the I can't feel my face to every team she played throughout the tournament. Nobody said a word. Nobody said one word. And she was probably true. She's probably right. She probably couldn't feel her face. That's how hot she was. So this is I'm gonna try to share my screen. This is what people were complaining about last year. Right? The gesture from Angel Reese.
After the game, finishing the way she started this season. LSU has been a confident group throughout, and Angel Reese after
This is what set everybody off last year. Angel Reese, she did this to Caitlin Clark as well, and she started pointing to her ring. So a lot of people didn't like that. They said she was unsportsmanlike, classist, so on and so forth. And a lot of black folks didn't like it either. Didn't like the way the white people in social media and also in the sports landscape were talking about Angel Reese. So it still became a black-white thing. And so I don't think the women really cared. They're very competitive, and they talked a lot of smack. They're probably worse than the men in terms of smack talking. I think these girls are these top school girls coming out of high school. I think they know each other very well. I think they played against each other on the AAU circuit and in summer tournaments. So I think they know each other very well. They don't seem to be bothered by it, but the media seems to be bothered by it. They've amplified something where it's taken on a Magic versus Bird sort of overtones. So this is what Angel Reese had to say when they found out they were going to play Iowa tonight. I'll try to share my screen.
It's fun. I have somebody to go back and forth with. A lot of times, some players don't even say anything back, so it's no fun. But I know me and Kayla will go at it if anything. Just out of competition, though. She wants to win, I want to win, and we're both just two great players that want to compete.
For me, anytime you go up against somebody that's super competitive and has that same drive and will to win, that's what you love. That's what competitors love. These type of games is what makes our game so great. It's what people want to turn on the TV and watch.
And here's two players that enjoy that aspect of the game. And so, so be it. I really don't want to get caught up in it. That's not my style. But if that's what drives those two players, then let them have it.
It's fun. I have somebody.
Okay, so there you go. They're looking forward to the competition. There's going to be a lot of smack talk, a lot of physical play, and the best team's going to win. I thought last year South Carolina was the best team in the country. They got knocked off by Iowa. LSU didn't beat Iowa for the national championship game, but LSU hasn't proven they can beat South Carolina. So this is going to be the last time these two women play and come out in college basketball. So it's going to be so everybody's going to be interested in it. The last matchup between them, but I think ultimately it comes down to South Carolina. Whoever wins this game goes to the Final Four and will probably meet South Carolina in the finals. And I think South Carolina will take it. I think Dawn Staley and South Carolina are the best team in the country until somebody beats them, until somebody proves them otherwise. So that's Trump and the G. Thank you for listening. Thank you.